Hey there, Kelly and Niels Mang, Executive Directors of BNI Maine. This week marks such an exciting week, so we decided to do something a little different for the Networker video. This is our 5-year anniversary as Executive Directors. So we thought we would just give you a little bit of a timeline, a little bit of history on how we got to this point and why BNI for us, because we get asked this question a lot, and it's kind of hard to remember sometimes that everybody hasn't kind of lived through the last 5 years with us. So in 2007, I actually became a member of BNI at a startup chapter in Windham. And if I told you I went happily, I would be fibbing. When I started my business, it was me, myself, and we were, what I considered at the time really busy. And I'm not quite sure what I was actually doing now that I think about that. So when I was invited to go to my very first networking group, my very first BNI chapter meeting, I avoided it, actually. I avoided it a lot. And it took months to be able to be convinced to go to my very first meeting. And when I did, I kind of went kicking and screaming, and it changed my life. That day is one of those days that I can remember that actually changed my life. I called you after the meeting, and
right away.
Yeah, I said
it was a switch went off.
So that was in 2007, and we fast forward a couple of years, business was going really well. We made it through 2008, which there's a lot to be said for that. We owned a commercial printing company at the time, and during a time where printing is kind of not dying necessarily, but we're starting to move more and more digital. We were growing and growing fast. In 2013, we started the newspaper, and then fast forward a little bit more.
I joined BNI.
You joined BNI in 2013. So this is your 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary this year.
And I at the time was also on the director team, so I was learning more and more about BNI and how global BNI is. Fast forward to 2018, we at the time we were in a place that our businesses were doing really well, and we decided to kind of make an offer to buy the BNI Maine franchise. And some would have thought we were a little crazy. We thought we were a little crazy, but it was kind of the next step, because small business is a huge passion of ours, and every business that we've ever had, it's really focused around small businesses and the growth of small businesses, some way attached to marketing. So we became the executive directors of BNI Maine in 2018, where we quickly implemented a couple things. We implemented the weekly networker. This is an email that you get every single Monday. And we did this because we wanted to limit the number of emails that you get from BNI. Ideally we try to only send you one email of information a week. And we make it as quick, to the point, and bulleted as possible, because we really do value your time, and we know that time is money, and we know how hard it is to run a small business. We also implemented these weekly networker videos, which are really exciting for us. It's just a way for either us or our director team to build that relationship with you, our members, even more.
Share information, some of our tips and tricks, some of their tips and tricks. We all learn from each other.
And it's how we got here, and it's how most of our team got here. So we definitely we're over 250 weekly networker videos. That's insane to me. But then we also implemented something that we call our all-in event. So every January we invite 50 members who are nominated through directors and ambassadors of our team to come and talk about the past year, what's gone really well, what was a little bit of a challenge, and what can be better, what do we want to see changed, what changes can we implement. And that really shapes the year. That
shows what the next year is going to look like. And the changes you've seen over the past 5 years have come from those January meetings. Some of the best ideas we've had come from other members, and we look forward to that every year.
Niels' passion is on the education side of BNI, and how do we educate small business professionals to use networking more to to get more results, I guess, not just use it to use it. You know, our entire focus is always around the results and the why behind
why.
it.
Yep.
So, you know, when we bought it in 2018, we quickly implemented a few things. Fast forward a little bit, you know, our family went through a couple struggles, some health struggles with Neil's. Most of you have heard the story, but if it wasn't for our members and the relationships that we built with our members, you know, between food being delivered every single day to the calls, the check-ins,
The health and wellness outpouring afterwards.
the health and wellness members that we have calling me saying, you know, ask these questions and talk to them about this and push for this. You know, those type of relationships are invaluable when it comes to, you know, your chapter, your members, your family, your life. So, you know, now that we've hit that 5-year mark, you know, we ask you to share your story. And, you know, through summer games, we talk a lot about, you know, share your reviews, share your story. But over the next year, definitely, but I'm sure over the next 5 years, we're going to be doing a lot of marketing around how BNI really makes a difference in a small business owner's or a small business owner or sales professional's life and the results it can really have. So I invite you, share your story below. Tell us why BNI has worked for you, but on a different note, like how it really has changed your world, or maybe it's changed your life, maybe it's changed your business, maybe it's you got a referral that you don't even know about, or that you don't even know where necessarily came from, but you know it came from someone because they mentioned BNI. That happens all the time.
Maybe it's that person. Maybe there's that person that you owe a ton of credit to that you want to talk about.
You know, you never know who you're going to meet. And again, I want you to share your stories down below. We are looking for people to showcase. We're looking for stories to showcase. You know, in January, we sold Time for Printing. We sold our printing company, and it wouldn't have happened the way that we ideally wanted it to happen. I mean, eventually, but you know, we sold it to BNI members. And it was because I ended up in a breakout session with Christine, who I had known, like I knew her family, I knew Main Street Graphics, I knew her, you know, her company, but I didn't actually know her. And what started off to be a few off-kilter comments turned into, you know, Christine and her business partner taking over Time for Printing, which is kind of our baby. And that's huge. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for, you know, taking the opportunity to just be in a breakout session with someone that you don't know. So again, share your comments below, share your stories below. We want to get to know you more. If you have ideas or suggestions on, you know, how we can always make BNI Maine better, call us, you know, email us, schedule a one-to-one.
Stop by the office in Wyndham. You know, come. We'd be happy to sit down with you. You know, book a one-to-one with us. You know, we'll go over it. Love ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for watching this. I know it was a little long. I hope that helps you kind of understand our history a little bit and why we're so passionate about this, and happy networking.